Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the hidden commission that you need to know if you want to sell a product or a service through your mobile app. So stay tuned. So, to better illustrate this, I'm going to walk you through one of my latest experience when trying to buy something on Amazon this weekend. I opened my phone, I went to the Amazon app, and the first thing I noticed is on the home page, a huge message saying, "This app is no longer supported. Please go to our website." I was very confused. Normally, I've done this before. It works very seamless. It's super easy. So I was kind of like, does this mean that Apple and Amazon have had a divorce or something? Like, what's going on here? I would guess that Amazon selling through the app on iPhone or Google, it's a very big business for them. So I wouldn't guess that they would just go randomly like that, no? So I dug a little deeper to better understand what was going on. And what I found out is just incredible news for many product and services providers around the world. We'll get right into that. But first, I want to let you know what are those fees that I was talking about. When you have an app, and you want to sell something through that app, normally on Google and on Apple, you would have to use the embedded payment system of your phone. Meaning, if it's an Android, it's going to be Google Pay, and if it's an iOS, it's going to be Apple Pay. And why do they do this? Well, just to give you an idea, each time you purchase something on an app, 30% of that amount is going to Apple or to Google. It's what they call, or what many call, an Apple tax or Google tax. It's very strange, I know. It is 30% most of the time. Then depending on your relationship with Apple, you can negotiate and maybe decrease it. It can vary depending on the years and so forth. But all in all, you have to give 30%, which is a big chunk of money, to Apple or Google every time you purchase something. So that is just plain crazy. Now, it is important to know this because when we are creating or building our application and you want to sell services or you want to sell a product, you need to actually take this number into account because it is a big number. I mean, if we're talking about Spotify that has millions of users, 30% of millions of users is a lot of money. Let's do quick math. 100 million users. They pay 10 euros per month, and Apple has to get 30% of that. That's 3 euros. That's $300 million per month. That's a lot of money. That's just quick math. So imagine if you do the good calculation, how much money that is. It's just crazy. So that's why, for example, Spotify, when you go to the app, on the App Store, on the iOS store, you won't see anything to subscribe now. They actually try to let's say, to guide you to go to their website so you can do the payment on their website and then just connect through the app. That way, they don't have to pay that 30%. Now, the problem is that Apple reviews every application. So when you submit an app, if you by any chance are trying to guide the user or try to make them go to the website, well, your app is not going to be approved, and that's going to be a problem. So big companies try to leverage this. It's an actual fact. It happens a lot in the publishing world, in the music world, in the media world. For example, Amazon Kindle. You go to Amazon Kindle and there's nothing. You cannot purchase anything. Why? Because if you click purchase, you would have to pay that 30%. So Amazon said, I'm not going to sell through here. I'll just wait for users to go to my Kindle marketplace, and then through the app, they'll be able just to read. So it is a delicate ecosystem. Many say that it's kind of a monopoly for Apple, for Google. Apple and Google, they kind of have their minds around it, saying that we provide the marketplace for the apps to go and we push them, and there's analytics and then there's advertising. So it's like a search engine optimization that they can provide through the app stores.
However, it's not easy to justify. So this is a battle that big companies like Netflix or Spotify or even the same Amazon are having constantly with Apple and Google. Now let's get back to my story. So once I saw this message, I really wanted to understand what was happening. So as I said, I dug a little bit deeper, and I really found out that Amazon introduced a new app to the App Store, which I downloaded, and quite frankly, it worked seamless. It was the same. For me, for the user, it was the same. There was some user interface difference here and there, but the overall app was the same. It was a new app. What was the difference? What was under the hood? That's the important question. And the fact is that Amazon introduced the first app to the iOS store with embedded third-party payment system. Yeah, so it is the first app that you can purchase something and not pay with Apple payment method or Google payment method. So this is huge. This is huge news. This is a battle of the decades, let's say, between many companies and Apple, and Amazon managed to win. Because not only that they're going to have their own payment method, but also they're going to include the Amazon Prime functionalities in the Apple TV. So they're going to have more exposure as well. So in this case, it was kind of a win-win scenario for Amazon and Apple. I would say that Amazon kind of had the advantage, but nevertheless, it is a great deal. It is amazing news for all of the big service providers and product providers that have applications. Just earlier in May, Daniel Ek, the CEO of Spotify, mentioned that he feels confident that Apple is going to one day open up to let Spotify have that third-party payment system. But it just shows that it's not only a subject with Amazon, it's a subject with many companies, and it is something super important to have in mind when you want to create an app and when you want to sell something through it. Many people don't actually realize that this number can vary. You can try to sell through your own marketplace on the website and then just redirect via voucher to your application or so forth. There are methods that you can do that. The idea would be that Apple doesn't have to actually realize that you're doing that. But just bear in mind that if you do get caught, you are looking at a lifetime ban of that application on the App Store. So be careful, do the numbers, run the numbers, have it in mind, and prepare for it. But I wanted to share this information with you because I feel that's very relevant and it's a very good news for the app world. We are going to talk about this more in the future when we talk about PWAs and payment methods with PWAs. And well, I mean, I really hope that this was informative for you, and I look forward to seeing you on our next episode. So stay tuned. Please do send me a comment on what do you think about this. If you feel that Apple or Google had kind of a monopoly on this, or I don't know. I don't want to say the word I'm thinking because I think it's very strong. So I'll leave you to it. Please send me your comments. I would love to hear what you think, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye guys. Have a good week and take care.